Well, we say a very, very special afternoon to you wherever you are in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and of course the folks across the globe. You may be surprised to know that we would have viewers all the way in China, United States, Canada, England, Australia, Morocco. We have folks living across the world who are Grenadians and who have an interest in what is taking place here today at the Trade Center. It's the General Council of the new National Party, and the first session has been successful so far with the delegates, and we're just about getting ready for the second session to take place here this afternoon. I'm joined by my co-host and colleague, none other than the legendary Andre Donald, and of course together we're going to give you an introduction to what is happening here this afternoon.
Legendary. Wow.
Well, I think you are, you know, you're titled to that category by now.
That's a big one. Oh, well, we're gathered here at the Trade Center, and Shoma, the NNP crowd, I dare say, is very good at this point in time, and there are buses arriving, there are other vehicles arriving, and I expect all the seats to be filled here, not at the annex, but at the Trade Center itself in a very short while.
Yeah, we must remember we had the main building of the Trade Center, not the annex.
Not the annex.
The bigger building.
Celebrating 40 years of resilience and visionary leadership, ready to rescue Grenada. That is the theme that the new National Party has as it relates to their General Council. And Shoma, someone asked me a couple of days ago, what is a General Council? And I just put it in this one sentence.
Put it in a nutmeg shell.
Yeah, in a nutmeg shell. A General Council is basically what I call a prelude to a convention. When you hear a General Council of a political party,
you know a convention is coming.
A convention is right there.
So all those naysayers and those who have it in their minds and their voices that the NNP is procrastinating with a convention, it's coming soon. Andrew, I think that I see a signal coming from the podium. It would appear that they are ready to commence with the
Well, I wish we had a bit more time so as
session
to give people some of the history of the party as they're celebrating this year too, Shoma, 40 years. And that is a very long time for any political party.
Indeed.
This transcends the entire history of Grenada as to the development that the new National Party brought to Grenada in its 40 years.
And that's post the revolution. Right after the revolution, 1983, 1984, the formation of the NNP, led by Herbert Blaise at the time. Three parties came together and formed the NNP. But of course, what I want to say, Andre, at this stage, there is a video that will be shown later on with the history, with the achievements and the successes of the new National Party over the last 40 years.
Can we put that together?
So, let's wait and see. So we will certainly have that for them to eat upon, chew upon, and get some outstanding facts and figures and successes that would have taken place. I think that the General Secretary is ready to take over the podium, so we will join him at this time.
Gentlemen, we are ready to go. Welcome back to the afternoon session. The protocol was set this morning, but I'd just like to recognize the head table, our political leader, Dr. Kit Mitchell, our deputy political leader, Brother Gregory Bowing, chairman of our party, Brother Oliver Joseph, other members of our national executive, delegates, and now we are joined by many of the observers who should be with us for the afternoon session. The buses are coming in and they are flowing in. We are almost to capacity. Those who are on the outside, we just ask you to come in because we are quickly going to move to have the first speaker come on platform. We are going live this afternoon. I do not have the details with me yet to where you can find this broadcast, but I will have that shortly, and I will announce for those who want to share it with friends and family. Of course, it's a continuation from this morning's program, and our first presenter, as I mentioned this morning, will be a youth, someone who is quickly growing into a celebrity, someone whom you have seen already on platform, someone that is getting used to speaking in front of huge crowd. Yes, this is the indication that NNP is not only about the future, about the past, and experience, but it is also about the present and the future. And our youths are the present, and they are the future. So, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, join me and put your hands together as we welcome to the microphone to speak about youth, Miss Amanda Japal George.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. James Robinson said it best. A leader is nothing without a great team. Brothers and sisters, as chair of the National Youth Arm in the interim, I must recognize this afternoon our NNP youth leaders. I must express my gratitude for the opportunity to serve as the interim chair of the youth arm. During my brief tenure, we have engaged in several activities, starting with a leadership workshop to ensure our leaders are well equipped to face challenges. In the wake of Hurricane Beryl, we organized our youth arm into teams: charity, fundraising, disaster management, and planning. Together, we have assisted individuals by laying tarpaulins on homes, cleaning roads, and providing other forms of support, such as the distribution of food bags in St. Mark's and St. Patrick's, as well as donating provisions, food items, and water to our Meals on Wheels program in Carriacou. Additionally, we have implemented an appreciation project in which members of the youth arm will be honored via social media weekly because we believe that people need to be acknowledged. We have also implemented an empowerment or growth project where youth leaders will have the opportunity to lead an activity because we in the NNP believe in the value of hands-on training alongside theoretical knowledge. And this, brothers and sisters, is just the beginning. We have many more initiatives and activities in store for our youths. The aim of the youth arm is to see each of our youth members grow, succeed, and be the best version of themselves. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the country for which it stands, with liberty, justice, and equality for all. I pledge also that I shall defend and uphold the honor, dignity, and laws and institutions of my country. Our pledge, brothers and sisters, emphasize the ideals of freedom, fairness, and equal treatment for every individual, regardless of their race, gender, background, or status within the length and breadth of our nation. It ensures that we have the same rights, opportunities, and protection under the law. Brothers and sisters, these are the foundational principles or the core values in a democratic society. The word freedom refers to the ability of individuals to act, speak, and think without undue restraint. It means having the right to make choices in one's life, pursue opportunities, and live without oppression. But brothers and sisters, it feels like we're living in an oppressive era, an era where oppression is all too real and freedom of speech exists only as an idea, not a reality. We talk about justice and equality for all, yet there seems to be no room for the truth, which is too often silenced. These days, we're like a cell phone. They're either pulling the volumes down or they're putting us on do not disturb. Why? Because they do not want the truth to be told. They believe that they are untouchable, that they can do anything, and Grenadians have to take what they get and hush. Well, joke they're making. Recently, I had the chance to visit various communities and meet with many of our youths during block meetings. And what struck me most was the deep sense of disappointment among them. They shared their frustration with the government's failure to keep its promises. Many voted for change, but they never expected changes to be so. Brothers and sisters, the changes that were made are not the changes that were promised. You know when you have a husband and he promising to do better and he balling, I go change, but only worse he getting? And he can't deliver none of the promises. That is them. But come next election, we're divorcing them. Are you ready to put the X by the house? Brothers and sisters, they made a change to remove the cap on gas from $15. Right now, gas price fluctuating like my hormones. They often overlook how these small changes can have a substantial impact on the nation. And let me tell you how. Because higher gas prices can lead to increased transportation costs, which may drive up prices for goods and services. And businesses pass on these expenses to consumers like us. And many Grenadians rely on vehicles for daily commuting. The rising gas prices can strain household budgets, especially for families with limited outcome. So you see how it affects us? It was publicly stated, and I quote, "Why cap it for 15 when we can give you for less?" Well, where the less is, we want the less, and we want the less to be under $15. But you know what they're going to say? We're unreasonable because under 15 isn't feasible. Well, they should have hushed them out. A growing sentiment in this country is that the needs and aspirations of today's youth are being overlooked, and effective policies to create jobs or provide educational opportunities are lacking. 2 years have passed. 2 years, you know. And many are still waiting for the permanent status that was promised to them. Programs like the Youth Biz, Empower, and the Imani program were all initiatives of the new National Party. And it was designed with you in mind because we heard the voices of the youth. We heard your cries and we responded. But let me be clear. While discussing and expounding on ideas is one thing, the true champions are the people who build the system and laid the foundation. The new National Party is the real MVP for establishing programs like these. And some individuals claim they have no new ideas. Oh boy. They're young and vibrant with nothing. They're just giving us young people a bad rep. Yet for all, you're calling the man with the ideas and the dedicated team old-fashioned. They may be old, but their vision is fast. Their vision is forward-thinking. But he didn't have to tell us that, you know. We know it's clear that they lack fresh ideas, as they only focus on rebranding without offering anything meaningful. Their bathroom and toilet program, for example, WASH, W-A-S-H, is simply the same initiative with a different name. Where is the promised transformation? Our programs have been so effective that even Trinidad themselves has adopted similar approaches. The high cost of living, brothers and sisters, has become a daily struggle, and discussions around the recent minimum wage increase revealed a common consensus. It feels more like a self-serving gesture than a genuine effort to support us. A gentleman said to me, "Miss, I can't afford to live, you know. And even worse yet, I can't afford to live. I had to pay to dig the hole, the coffin price high, and don't talk about the happy hour." But brothers and sisters, we've heard your concerns about the victimization faced by those who advocate for their rights. And it's disheartening to see peers silenced for speaking out because it is our fundamental right. You heard the pledge. It speaks of freedom, a freedom right now that we do not have. It's disgraceful, brothers and sisters, when government officials misuse their power or status to intimidate others. Brothers and sisters, you know it's a very sad situation when a picture was posted on Facebook from a women's forum and a few of the attendees requested it to be taken down. It was never like this in the history of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. In fact, during the revolution, it was the youth who was at the forefront. So brothers and sisters, let us tell them that we will not be silent. Not then, not now, and not ever. I say to them, stop the bullying, because God don't like ugly. The rising crime rates and unemployment are significant threats to our future. Yet still, brothers and sisters, we find ourselves at a crossroad where job security and opportunities can be jeopardized by political affiliations. Again, brothers and sisters, our fundamental rights are being overlooked. Are the rights of the people, of us, you and me, not important? Why should anyone fear speaking out about issues that impact us? Isn't agreeing to disagree still possible? Citizens should be free to support whomever they choose. Why resort to bullying and belittling individuals? I reiterate, why resort to bullying and belittling individuals? Even God himself allows us the freedom to choose between heaven and hell. So who are you? Who are you to victimize the people of this beautiful country? We stand with you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We love you, and we will rescue you, because the house is still solid, and the pillars are still strong. NNPIs, let me hear you say it. The house is solid, and the pillars are still strong. And if you believe that, say house, say house, say house. We will rescue you.
Let's hear some more claps to our sister Amanda Japal. Youthful power, youthful energy, youthful vibrance. Let me hear you say house, house, house. Yes. You know when you say house, you back like them real big dogs, you know. somebody going in parliament and talking about big dogs, yeah? But that dogs they're talking about don't back. Sister Amanda, we are happy. Youth power. We continue because we are a party of business. I did promise, or there was a promise by the previous chairman of the morning session that as we go live this afternoon, we want everybody at home to recognize that despite what Beryl did and what Hurricane NDC is now doing to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, that they're still here to show their support and that the new national party is the party of choice. So I now ask the people, the delegates, and whoever else came down from Carriacou and Petit Martinique to please stand at this time. Take a bow, and I want Mr. Cameraman to just show them. They're here representing the thousands in Carriacou. Thank you so much. We stand firm and we stand strong with you. And of course, very soon and very soon, you will get your just reward. There's also another gentleman here who is a member of the New York support group, because you see, NNP has its tentacles spread throughout the world, not just in Grenada. So we have one brother, and there may be others, I'm not sure, but I can call on Brother Golden. He's at the back. Please stand, from the New York support group. And if there is anyone else from New York or any other support group, please stand. Normally at General Council, but most of convention, they will come in their numbers. And there's another one? All right. Okay, right. So you saw him. And he has a good name, eh? Golden. All right. Yes? Well, Sister Julie, I don't know what you're trying to imply there, no? But anyway, let's leave that right there. We're moving on. Recently, the NDC started to make noise. They say, what was going on? NNP done. Resignation. This one goes so, that one goes so. Little did they know that everything that is happening with a plan. Is what we prepared to have happen. And so, some of you may have seen it on television. Others may not have been so fortunate that on the 25th of this month, there were 2 new senators that were sworn in. And the intent was at this session, since they were unable to have a press conference due to some other circumstances, introduce them here. But one of our senators is absent because she had a conference that she needs to attend abroad and is out of state. Our dear sister, and I want to make sure I have her name correct, Mayana Charles. So she's not here, but I'm just announcing it for what it's worth, because I know those people who out there and have all their antennas up, what they will go and say, you ain't see the woman even bothering with them, she don't go in the General Council. That is not the truth. She's out of state. She's left today, and that was pre-planned. But we have a strong man, a good man, a fella that could stand up and he could bring the other one on his shoulder. And so I want to introduce him. Some of you know him very well. Brother Dwight Hosford, please stand, take a bow. And maybe if you so desire, come and say to the people that you're prepared to work with them, work for them, and do all that is necessary in your capacity as the new senator.
know I can't get in no trouble. Distinguished head table, political leader, Dr. Mitchell, and other great stewards of the party, my colleagues on stage, and to you, beautiful soldiers and sisters and brothers of the New National Party, the #1 party in this country. I won't take too much of your time, but I also want to bring apologies from my distinguished friend, Senator Dr. Mayana Charles, who is away, as Brother Bola has told you. But you're hearing me now? You're hearing me now? All right. I'm taller than a mic. So, sisters and brothers, the two of us, we are very proud, very, very proud and humble to serve and amplify the voice of you, our sisters and brothers in the Senate. But you know, as Brother Bola said, they're quick to make mischief. So as Sister Emily told you earlier, some of you, many of you were not here, know where you're getting your information from. Take your information only from our people because they want to misinform you. You know why they want to misinform you? Because we have an NDC administration running scared. There's a government on the run. They're on the run. So when you see they have to use an old child molester to run propaganda, you know they're not in anything at all. Nothing at all. Nothing. The #1 party is who? NNP. And what is the symbol? House. Sisters and brothers, we're coming on the rescue mission. Stand firm. Thank you so very much for your time.
Oh, you had to tiptoe, yes? That was Dwight T. Yes? NNP on the rescue. Well, brothers and sisters, NNP going to be rescuing all over. Not only St. George's, here in Lindona, we're rescuing you too. We're making sure that the seawater stop make noise behind your house. We have to save your house. So we want to tell you now what is not happening in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And to tell you what an NNP administration would have done in Carriacou and Petit Martinique after Beryl left her trail of destruction. But I'm not going to be the one telling you. To do so, I'm going to introduce the man who is in charge. Don't worry what they're saying. The man that is in charge in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, Senator Nolan Cox. Make some noise for him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear brother Bola. You know, Brother Bola and I, we normally have some social times together. And due to the situation we have at home, we haven't had a chance to do so. So looking forward to that. Let me take this opportunity to recognize, of course, our distinguished and long-standing leader of the New National Party, our deputy political leader, chairman of the party, other members of the executive, our distinguished delegates, and of course, we have been recognizing our delegates from Carriacou, and I just want to go further, and Petit Martinique. I want to go further to say how appreciative I am of them taking the time to be here today. Given the circumstances which currently exist at home, some of them who are here have lost the entire house. Some of them have lost their house partially, and they are here. It is a sign of commitment. It's a sign of love and dedication to this great new national party. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Also want to recognize our New York chapter for the work that they are doing as we continue to rally as a party. Friends, colleagues, some 90 days ago, the islands of Carriacou and Martinique went through probably one of the worst devastation after 1955 Hurricane Janet. We received an outpouring of support locally, internationally, regionally. And for that, we as a people, I could safely say that the entire people of Carriacou and Martinique are very, very grateful and appreciative for your contribution and support. "90 days. The reality of uncertainty and hardship continue to set in. Brothers and sisters, this government does not and continue to not indicate to us any clear plans for the recovery and rebuilding of our beautiful islands. There is a great uncertainty that continues to hover over our islands. A number of persons are struggling. It is a very difficult time for our brothers and sisters in Carriacou and Martinique. And so we continue to call. We continue to call for whatever support that you can give. Whatever hands you can stretch out to help, we're asking you, please continue to do so. And the reason why we are doing so is because there is a different message of contrast that has been put out by this government. A message giving the impression that everything is all good and well at home. Brothers and sisters, that is not the case. That is not the case. It is not all good and well. It pains me sometimes to have to speak about it, but it is important that for us to reach out so that we can get the help that we need from our brothers and sisters outside and even locally. Brothers and sisters, what did we do as a party? When we recognized what the situation was, through the leadership of the party and the national executive, a number of initiatives were quickly rolled out. We had a Meals on Wheels initiative, brothers and sisters, where we were giving food to every single person that we could reach. We were not singling out people based on their political preference. And the facts are there. We went to homes of persons who are not supporters of our party because every single Carriacou and Martinican were impacted by burial. That is what the new national party represents. We represent inclusiveness and togetherness. But here the response from the other side when we launched our Wheels and Meals. One particular parliamentary rep said that we're cooking food and that would cause us to create more garbage and the place in a mess and we weren't able to move garbage and it's more problems. No wonder why they asked him to go back to school, brothers and sisters. No wonder why they had to go and study, because I cannot understand. You're in a disaster. People need food to eat. And you're talking about garbage, but we could talk some more about garbage just now. Brothers and sisters, when they realize the impact of that program, they send the Ministry of Health to do the inspection in an attempt to shut it down. But you know what? the new National Party Wheels and Meals Initiative was the only one that was cleared by the Ministry of Health to cook food. We are prepared at all times. We are prepared. We had another initiative. We have affordable toilets. As you know, homes destroyed, people need sanitary place to use. And that was one of our wise decisions of this party. There go again. They want to know how he cleaning, where the waste is going to be dumped. Brothers and sisters, every year we have regatta and carnival, portable toilets coming to Carriacou. That question was never asked. How was it been done before? Why is it an issue now? And that is what we are saying. They want to keep us back. They want to silence us. But we have to continue. We have to continue to speak out. We have to continue to speak out. We also continue to give relief items to our brothers and sisters throughout Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We'll get to that just now. We also been supporting our brothers and sisters with rebuilding their homes in any way possible that we can. We are not in government. We have limited resources. We are challenged, but we are not daunted. And so this is how they responded, brothers and sisters. They responded by scolding our teachers and public servants for water. Could you imagine? For water. As it stands right now, water is more expensive than gasoline in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And that's a fact. Brothers and sisters, our residents are scolded for being successful, being able to go out and work and save money. Just imagine everybody damaged. Just because somebody work hard and save some money for their family, that means that they shouldn't get any support because they have some savings. That is ridiculous. And what is even sad, they drive around with a loudspeaker saying that they're going to rebuild each and every single home and then turn back and say you have your money, so build a house for yourself. Could you imagine? Who does that? Who does that? Make sure you get it right. NDC that does that. While we recognize that government have challenges, we recognize that government have limitations, and there are some things that they were not able to do, and some things take time. We recognize that. And we have the experience because we know that. We've been there before. But without a plan, without a clear structure, we are not going to get this right. We are rooting, we are hoping for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique that they get this right. We are hoping. Well, we know what we have to do when the time comes. Brothers and sisters, our people are the most important asset right now. Most important asset. And one of the biggest issues facing our people right now is housing. If we, as a party, didn't call out the shortcomings of the supplementary budget, not a house would have been allocated for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Not a single house was budgeted for Carriacou and Petit Martinique after receiving one of the worst hurricanes ever. Could you imagine? How could you not budget for Carriacou and Petit Martinique? How could you not? I don't understand. I don't understand. But I'm saying this, and the reason for that is because there is no care. There is no care. The constant disrespect towards our people, the constant political victimization, the constant selfishness, brothers and sisters, have to come to an end. Carriacou and Petit Martinique do not deserve that. We do not deserve that level of disrespect. Brothers and sisters, I want to say this issue of housing is so important. You know, just yesterday, I was going around dropping off items for persons within various communities, and it almost brought me to tears when some of the senior citizens, when I went by to drop the bags, and they were talking about the lack of neglect, not the lack thereof, but neglect, and how much they are struggling. They are struggling. They were almost to tears, brothers and sisters. That is the situation. Because if you do not have a plan, you are going to do Vike stuff. It's voop, you're vooping. You need to have a plan to ensure that our people rebuild properly. And that is not happening. That is not happening. And we have a growing crisis on our hands. We have a growing crisis with water shortages. We are going to have a serious problem in Carriacou in the coming months. I've been signaling this for months now. If the government fails to assist people to get the roof back on, there is no avenue for them to collect water. We have a serious challenge. We are in September, and water is trucking as if we are in January and February, and the dry season has not arrived as yet. We ask that you continue to hear the cry of the people. We hear the cry of the people, and that is the reason why I'm raising this here, brothers and sisters. We have to continue to speak out. We have to, because the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique deserve better. They deserve better representation. They deserve better care. They disrespect brothers and sisters. That is one of the things that I don't get. Why does a child have to be disrespecting elders like that? And I have to say, a child, in the essence of what we're speaking about. Why? The people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique gave you an opportunity to serve them with respect and humility. But you choose to disrespect them time and time again. Time and time again. Brothers and sisters, and you know what is the policy of this government? The policy of this government is that once you support in the New National Party, you have to suffer and die. Once you support in the New National Party, this government wants to see you suffer and die. And we see it, we continue to see it. We continue to experience it, and just recently, on a radio program, one of the persons said that we take the ads. Yes, we take the ads from the radio station. We make sure we take the ads. Because why? They want the radio station to close down. Where is the democracy? Where is the freedom to speak? Why is it a young man who decides to speak up for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you have to arrest him, you have to detain him? Why is that? Why is it that you have to do that? It is so sad. It is so sad that we have to be experiencing this. But anyhow, we have to talk. We have to talk about the issues that continue to affect us as a people. If we don't do that, brothers and sisters, we are going to be in big trouble. They are going to walk over us, and we cannot in any way sustain that. Brothers and sisters, I was listening to a program, and I have to laugh. I was wondering whether I should laugh or I should cry. On a program, an NDC representative was hailing two businessmen in Carriacou as heroes. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. Hailing them as heroes. Brothers and sisters, right after the general elections, these two businessmen have been receiving support from the government every single day through services, whatever grants, they have been supported by the government. That is their party. They go out every single day and speak negative about the National Party as if we never existed. Well, they speak so much about the political leader, I don't know if they sleep at night. I'm telling you, they speak so much about the political leader. While he's sleeping comfortable, they're sleeping uneasy. Look how relaxed he is. I did not say nothing. We stand for democracy. We stand for democracy. When their surrogates was saying all kind of nasty things, they had no problem. We never arrest nobody. We never arrest nobody. Allow people to speak. Allow people to speak, brothers and sisters. That is what we are about. So I was speaking about these two businessmen who are hailed heroes. After receiving support from the government for the past 2+ years, Hurricane Beryl came, businesses damaged. So obviously, I mean, if you've been supporting somebody for years and you need a little favor now, you expect them to say, well, we go help out 2 people for you, we go house out 2 people for you. That is normal. That is expected. And that is expected of any Carriacouan. But for you to do that, and for them to pay you, have government resources repairing those persons' places while persons don't have roof on their house, while the hospital is roofless, those two businessmen, buildings have been receiving support from government. I didn't say so. That is what they said on their program, and they hail them as heroes. Brothers and sisters, who are the real heroes? Who are the real heroes of Hurricane Beryl? Brothers and sisters, I will tell you who are the real heroes. The real heroes are those persons who are in the Dover school shelter, who nearly lost their lives, had to break a lock and a library next door so that they could rescue Drew in the midst of the hurricane. And the entire school collapsed just as they came out from the school. Those are the real heroes. The real heroes are the people who to this day are housing other persons, feeding them and housing them. Those are the real heroes. For nothing, they are doing it for nothing. The real heroes are the other businesses in Carriacou who are housing people as well. Brothers and sisters, the real heroes are the persons, those persons who came out during the passing of the storm to house people and to rescue people and to keep them safe. That is who you should be hailing. Not you, mouthpiece, who you give in support day by day, every day. That ain't making no sense. That is disrespectful. That is disingenuous. And I know they might do a live on me. They might do an article on me. And they like to say that I ain't living in Carriacou. But when we tell them, why don't you use the Dumfries housing scheme? Move the people out of the shelters so that school can open in a timely manner and put them in the housing scheme. They said that the place damaged so bad, people can't go there. Where did they put them now? The same place. The same place that just moved them to the shelters so that school can reopen. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Then we tell them that Brothers and sisters, we have to stop that. NDC have to stop that in Carriacou. Yes, they need to stop that. Brothers and sisters, there is a clear lack of empathy for people in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. I was in Petit-Martinique just Wednesday gone. And when I look around, that's Wednesday, and school's supposed to be opening on Monday. The workmen were just painting some ply on the ground to put on the roof for school to open tomorrow. We have been calling for school to reopen. We are not against school reopening. But if you have to open school, you have to ensure that the environment is suitable for our kids to go. To some extent, we know that we're in distress. But when you open, for example, the Hillsborough Secondary School, that is adjacent to dump site, what sort of message are we sending? Is it fair for parents to send their child to a school that is exactly opposite a dump site? Is that fair, brothers and sisters? That is not fair. We deserve better. The people of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique deserve better. We understand the circumstances. We understand that persons may not have uniform, they may not have everything for school. That is not the issue. The issue is that you have to treat our people better. You have to treat us better than that. We are not second-class citizens. We deserve better, and we are not going to accept less. We are not going to. Brothers and sisters, one of the hope and the major hope that we have is that we have a party who knows how to govern. We have a party who cares about people. We have a party who loves people. And we have a party who has done great things for Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. Brothers, I want to give you another joke. You know the late Elvin G. Nimrod, may God rest his soul. I've done so much through the New National Party for our people. And there was a campaign to remove the port from Harveyville back to Hillsborough. Brothers and sisters, with the passage of Beryl, if we did not have that port in Harveyville, I don't know what would have become of us in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. If we didn't have that 3-acre lot of land so that supplies could have been received in an orderly manner, I don't know what would have happened. That is the vision of our party. That is the vision of leadership. That is what we want for this country. And that is what they are going to get next time around. Brothers and sisters, the lack of foresight is one of the hallmarks of this government. The lack of foresight. They are quick to smother you. They are quick to silence you. If you say something on social media, I never see ants come out of holes so yet. Never. All kind of ants, biting ants, black ants, all kind of ants come out of some hole. But one thing I know, and I'm certain about, brothers and sisters, every issue that I have raised, every issue that we have raised, has turned out to be the facts. It has turned out to be the facts because why? The people of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique know that I have a dear love and trust and commitment for them. I have been doing that for decades. On many platforms, I have been working for the people of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. That is one of my greatest joys. That is one of my greatest pleasure. And they will give me an opportunity to do so. That I'm certain about. Because why? They deserve better. They deserve better. Telling you, I never see things so yet. Brothers and sisters, the way forward, we have to continue to work. We have to continue to work as a party. We have to continue to work as a country to help Carriacou and Petit-Martinique during these difficult times. It is tough times. But one of the things that has taught me is that our people are very resilient. They are very resilient. Despite the disrespect, they continue to rebuild for themselves. Despite the victimization, they continue to find a way to rebuild for themselves. Despite the scolding, they continue to find a way to move forward day after day. Be it our fishermen, be it our farmers. Everybody trying to find out what they do this morning. You have persons doing all kind of underhand stuff. But we're going to deal with all that. We're going to deal with all that. We are going to deal with it. Because the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique deserve better. They deserve better. And we have proven time and time again that the only party that has done it successfully for our people is the New National Party. It is the New National Party who had the vision and foresight to establish a daycare center in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It is the New National Party that had the vision and foresight to build a senior citizens' home. It is the New National Party that had the foresight to build a resource center. The New National Party had the foresight to build a mini stadium. It is the New National Party that had the foresight to build a new port. It is the New National Party that had the foresight to ensure that we have TAMCC, a branch of TAMCC in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And we could go on and on and on. But yet for all, they say how we ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing. You understand? I tell you, we have time and time again continue to invest in the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And we are very proud of that. We are very proud of that. We are comforted in the fact that in our belief in God and His unwavering grace, that as a party we are going to prevail. We are comforted in the fact that we have members who have committed a long-standing committedness by all you, the soldiers of the New National Party. We are comforted in the fact that the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique know the right choice is the New National Party. Brothers and sisters, there is so much to unpack. There is so much going on in our little island. You know, so much of nonsense going on. But we're going to deal with that in due course. Yes, we're going to deal with that in due course. But I say, schools are going to, is announced to reopen tomorrow. We do hope that our parents are trying to get ready as best as they can. But I don't know, in the case of Hillsborough Secondary School, how that school is going to coexist with a dump site next door. I don't know how they're going to coexist with the stench, with the possible insects, rodents, whatever the case may be. And that is what I can understand. Every single playing field has been turned into a dump site, except for the mini stadium. This is a sad, sad, sad time for our young people in that regard. Before I close, I want to say something regarding a recent incident of one of our brother who came from New York to do some relief work and to repair work on homes, who had an accident and fell, and who is currently at the General Hospital. And it's quite unfortunate what he and his family has to go through. And you know, we'll have more time to speak about health issues going forward. And without going into the details of what transpired, we as a party, wherever we can, we are calling on members to donate wherever to support so that he can get the necessary revenue so that he can go out via ambulance to get care as quickly as possible. So, as a Carriacouan, as an NNPite, we are calling on members, we're calling on the public to support wherever, and our heart goes out to Mr. Clouden and his family as they go through this difficult ordeal. It's important that we give support wherever it's necessary in this difficult time. And this has nothing to do with anything about political preference. We respect where people vote. We may not agree with your ideas and policies, but we respect it. And in the same way, we expect them to respect ours and to allow democracy to prevail. Brothers and sisters, as I close, I am encouraged. I believe a couple of years have been shaved off of me after my dear sister, Sister Nepal, spoke. Japal. Brothers and sisters, when you have people of this, I want to use the right word, substance, intelligence, this is very encouraging for the New National Party. So when you hear people say negative things about this organization, tell them the young people know better. That is the reason why they are here. We are encouraged every step of the way. We are certain in our decisions. We are certain in our thoughts. And we are certain that we are going to get victory come next election. Brothers and sisters, the NNP, I want to ask God to continue to bless us, continue to keep us as we ready to rescue Grenada. The future for Grenada, the New National Party. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Well. Give the man some claps now, man. What happened to all you? I mean, I sit down there taking on the thing so much. The man don't talk and I don't know, I'm still listening, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, NDC making history. Yeah? And not too long ago, somebody say things happening too much. In the meantime, a couple of things will happen. I'm going to ask the people who are seated at the head table at this time to just ease themselves up from where they are at this moment and go to the higher level. Go up to higher grounds. Big wave coming. Head for higher grounds. While they're heading to higher grounds, and this is serious now, I know things hard. Money limited. All you have to come this way. Not much dollars around. But Brother Cox made mention of the Clouden family. I saw it on the news. And we're making our little contribution. But there are a couple thousands of us here at this time. Even if you don't have much. We're passing around with a little hat or a bag. We don't have a hat big enough yet to go. And whatever you have, whatever you can, $1, $5, $10, we're taking 100 too, eh? Don't, not because I'm calling little bit there. Drop it in the hat. We will soon announce how much it is, and we are going to contribute that to. The hat is coming. No, not this hat now. What happened to all you? A hat, a hat, hat. Brother Nimrod, where are you? 2 bags. They say hat too small. They come in with 2 bags. So they'll be on both sides. Even if we get 3, that is nothing. We have 3 rows. Go ahead. What? Not that we know all them clothing, we could differentiate. Go ahead, go ahead. Where there's one lady on this side, where the person for the next side? Yes, Dr. Modest, go with the bag, go with the bag. That's better. I mean, if all you want a pocket in mine borrow, given my pocket kind of deep but empty. So I could borrow. Right, so we look like we have it going. All right, Peggy, yeah, the hat full, so give her the bag. Good. So while that is happening, we have the technical people preparing. We have them preparing because now, because we are celebrating 40 years as a party, something that you need to be proud of. There's never been a political party in Grenada that has survived that long. So, Mr. DJ, you ready with the jingle? We're going to show you his technology. This morning, Sister Emlyn spoke about that. We'll have
40 years we go.
Followed by a video that will show you some of the activities and tell you some of the things that has happened over the 40 years. So put your hand in your pocket while you're watching the video, so you don't have to look at what you're putting in the bag. Just dip, take it out, put it in the bag, and watch the video.
40 years we going strong and getting stronger. It's a celebration, it's a celebration, we love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. Happy anniversary, NNP. Anniversary, happy anniversary, NNP. 40 years of resilience, progress and visionary leadership. Not tearing hope for a brighter future. The new national party. It's a celebration, we love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. It's a celebration, we love it. There's no segregation. We're the best party and we know it. Happy anniversary, NNP. Anniversary, happy anniversary, NNP. 40 years and going strong, providing a solid foundation for the nation future. 40 years of greatness, development and progress, yeah. It's a celebration, we love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. It's a celebration, we love it. There's no segregation. We're the best party and we know it. Happy anniversary, NNP. Anniversary, happy anniversary, NNP. Going strong and getting stronger, NNP.
This is the story of the new National Party rescue missions, always ready to rescue Grenada with resilience, courage, and unwavering leadership. Founded in the early 1980s during a time of great uncertainty, Grenada was still reeling from the aftermath of the revolution, especially the violent way it ended. Fragile and yearning for stability in 1984, leaders from across the region gathered on Union Island with the 3 existing political parties in Grenada at the time, namely the Grenada National Party, the GNP, led by Herbert Blaise, the National Democratic Party, the NDP, headed by George Brizan, and the Grenada Democratic Movement, GDM, headed by Dr. Francis Alexis. That meeting in Union Island resulted in the formation of the new National Party, the NNP. At the inaugural meeting of the newly formed NNP, Herbert Blaise was elected as the political leader, with our present leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell, appointed as the General Secretary. In December 1984, the first parliamentary general elections post-revolution were held. The new National Party won 14 of the 15 seats, and Herbert Blaise was elected Prime Minister. His vision was a united Grenada, with key pillars being economic and infrastructure development, tourism, and strong international relations. His humility and dedicated service to restore our democracy and rebuild our institutions will always be etched in our history. Internal differences between the leaders of the three parties that formed the NNP saw the exit of George Brizan and Dr. Francis Alexis in 1987. They subsequently formed the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, with George Brizan as the political leader and leader of the opposition in Parliament. By 1989, Dr. Mitchell became the leader of the NNP. In 1990, the NNP lost the general elections to the NDC, and Grenada was again faced with major challenges. Grenada's weak growth performance during the period 1990 to 1994 was attributed to a continuous contraction in agricultural output, which declined each year. In addition, the construction industry experienced a major contraction in 1992 due to the sharp fall in public sector investment. In 1993, output declined in the mining and quarrying, construction, and manufacturing sectors, as well as in agriculture. Gross domestic expenditure declined continuously from 117.4% of GDP in 1990 to 102.1% of GDP in 1994. By 1995, the new National Party was called upon by the people of Grenada to perform its second rescue mission under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell. The work of the NNP team and the clarion call for inclusivity during that period of service led to the party's first historic clean sweep victory in 1999. With the exceptional leadership of Dr. Mitchell, the NNP team went on to shape some of the most defining moments in our nation's history post the period of the revolution, leading the country through its darkest hours of two major hurricanes, Ivan and Emily, a world financial crisis, and a pandemic. Grenada suffered damages in excess of 200% of its gross domestic product, GDP, as a result of the hurricanes. Team NNP was charged with the responsibility to manage the rebuilding process in collaboration with the social partners, including the opposition. Worthy of mention are a few of the key Build Back initiatives: distribution of free material support, the reconstruction of 200 homes for vulnerable families, the negotiation of 6 housing schemes, most of which we have today: Soubise, Montrush, St. David's, Diamond, and Beausejour, rebuilding of 2 national stadiums, negotiation with the U.S. aid to build 1,200 houses, negotiations with the U.S. aid to finance the cost of homes for 150 families, cap on gas price, reduction in property taxes, provision of planting materials, fertilizers, labor support, equipment, and grant support to farmers to compensate for their lost income. Fisher folks were given grant support to repair their boats, replace engines, other equipment, and to compensate for interim loss of livelihood. The new National Party was asked by the people of Grenada to sit out the period 2008 to 2013 in the governance of the country. But by 2011-2012, the cries of yet another rescue mission were heard. In 2013, in true NNP fashion, we armed ourselves for the battle, and in 2013, we took on the fight and were victorious. From his first entry into Parliament in 1984, Dr. Mitchell's leadership became a symbol of progress, leading to 2 more historic election victories in 2013 and 2018, where the NNP won all 15 seats, a powerful testament to the unwavering trust and confidence of the Grenadian people. This era of the NNP saw heightened collaboration with our social partners to craft a homegrown structural adjustment program. The key objectives of this program were increase growth, restore fiscal and debt sustainability, strengthen the financial sector, while ensuring that social safety net programs such as the Support for Education, Empowerment and Development SEED program better targeted poor and vulnerable households, and that a targeting instrument was utilized to more objectively identify beneficiaries. During this rescue mission, Team NNP reduced unpaid claims of $100 million and had an average GDP growth rate of 5% and above consistently. The national debt was significantly reduced, moving from 108% of GDP to 57.7% before COVID-19, a drastic decrease in unemployment from over 40% to under 15%. The NNP spearheaded the construction of 2 national stadiums, expanded the cruise port to accommodate over 300,000 visitors annually, and upgraded more than 1,500 kilometers of farm roads, making life easier for our farmers and boosting agricultural production. In the realm of social progress, the NNP's legacy is undeniable. We brought clean, potable water to over 95% of households, expanded electrification to rural areas, and revolutionized telecommunications, making high-speed internet accessible to schools and homes across the nation. Education was a cornerstone of the NNP's commitment to the nation. The government awarded over 3,000 scholarships, providing access to higher education for students who would otherwise not have the opportunity. Through programs like the Imani, Empower, Project Fly, Youth Biz, Aspire, Reach, and Youth in Agriculture, the NNP empowered thousands of young people with skills training, job placement opportunities, and the chance to build a better future through scholarships and other support programs. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the NNP protected the livelihoods of thousands of Grenadians through physical measures that stabilized the economy and prioritized public health. Over 7,500 families benefited from housing initiatives, and as of June 2022, the NNP was paying pensions to 2,200 retirees with an average annual budget of $75.4 million. These victories were more than just political successes. There were endorsements of NNP's dedication to the people of Grenada. Dr. Mitchell's leadership brought about significant economic progress. Today, Grenada finds itself at another critical crossroad. The current NDC administration's mismanagement has weakened our economy, eroded key institutions, and undone much of the progress the NNP worked so tirelessly to secure. Under the NDC, serious crime and inflation are skyrocketing, the quality of healthcare deteriorating, and the people are once again bearing the brunt of poor governance. As history has shown, when Grenada calls, the NNP is always ready to respond. We stand ready to rescue, rebuild, and restore. This isn't just a mission, it's a promise. From providing water to every home, paving roads that connect communities, and supporting families with housing, to educating our youth and boosting our economy, the NNP has always been the driving force behind Grenada's greatest achievements. The NNP has always been there to rescue Grenada. We are ready to lead again. We will bring Grenada back to stability, prosperity, and unity
lifting our nation to the heights and respect it deserves. Together, we will rescue Grenada because we have done it before and we will do it again.
"40 years of work, 40 years of progress." We do so much that they get blinded. Let's hear it again. Let's say thank you to Sister Shoma and others who put, all those who worked in the background, all the technical people, the photos, to put that together so that in a couple of minutes you could view 40 years of work and progress by the new National Party. Well, they ain't see it yet, you know. You know, you first see it, you see it before me. We will put it on television and elsewhere. So thank you. They know all that we do. Don't worry. They're going to just see it again. Thank you all very much. We do appreciate. It look like all you do good, you know. You have 4 bankers in the back checking. They're in the vault. But I can't tell you nothing yet. I have to wait until they come out. Security tight. But we're moving on. We are here for a very important reason. We are here for a purpose. We have to get this country back on track. We heard Brother Cox. We saw the video, 40 years of action for NNP. Now, we are moving into an area. We are going to listen now to someone who's been there from the beginning. Someone who has helped to build the vessel. Was part of the design phase. Was part of the building process. And has been steering the ship for quite a long time. I want you to join with me and pay absolute attention. But raise your voices and put your hands together as we invite our political leader, Dr. Kit Mitchell, to speak to us.
Thank you, my dear brother, chairperson. Of course, I want to recognize firstly the chairman and deputy political leader of the new National Party, Brother Joseph and Brother Boeing. And of course, all the distinguished executive members of our party. And all of the press persons who are here, my special brothers and sisters from Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It's so good to have you here this evening, this afternoon. And all of you, sisters and brothers, the saviors of democracy of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, I'm glad to have you here this afternoon. Sisters and brothers, let me say this. In 2008, we lost the general elections. And in 2 years, we gave the government, the new government, a chance. We did not do much. We made comments on issues that we considered to be important. But we felt the new government needed time to find their feet. The same thing we did this time. We gave them time. 2 years are gone. 2 years have gone. And let me say this. This government, this NDC government is far worse than the one of 2008 to 2013. So we have decided, together with a team, that we'll have these special meetings called zonal meetings around the country. Sisters and brothers, we do not have any money. Let's get it straight. Whatever funds that have been expended has come from the sacrifices of a few of us. That's a fact. After 2 years of being out of government, and you know what it is when you lose, you can't beg people for help. Don't get it. So we have to be careful what sort of commitments we make. So in the process of having these meetings, we've asked people to limit the bus transport that you're asking us to find monies for. And we're asking people to help us. And I must say, in begging, we have not had rejection, although people are not able to give us what they are normally used to give because of the serious economic situation in our country. But I'm making this point to say, despite the fact that we have limited you to 2 and 3 buses in a constituency, I am so pleased and shocked with the massive turnout here in the Trade Center today, because you recognize Grenada has to be rescued. So we are on the rescue mission, and we will not stop until we get to the end of that pole. So brothers and sisters, this General Council is a special one for me. It's been 40 years in the vineyard. And I want to say to you, not everything I say to you here today, that you'll be happy. Because I have to get into some self-analysis of we NNP. I have to get into that, so I have to be self-critical of us. So anything that's happening inside, I'm not like others in the past that refuse to say what's happening inside. That's not right. I will speak to the people of this country. Because you see, I've reached a stage in my life that I've said over and over, I've reached the mountain top. And therefore I will not see anything going wrong and say nothing. I will speak, but I mean it from the heart. I mean no harm to anyone, but I have to speak to what is right. I think I deserve to do this. And I will certainly speak about what is taking place in our country with a government that is brutalizing our people, that have no heart at all. Sisters and brothers, so as we recognize our history, we must understand and appreciate, as someone already said, we stand on the shoulders of many who have labored selflessly in the vineyard before, and who have worked hard for this great institution called the New National Party. Many of us gave up lucrative careers. I don't need to call names, but I think you know them. And we made serious sacrifices. And we never sought to enrich ourselves in the service of this party and our dear beloved country called Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Some of us are worse off today financially than when we came into government 40 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 20 years ago. These are facts. So some people in government, they want to get rich overnight. My friends, we have a right to be proud that our party has served the people of this country well over the years. This is evident, sisters and brothers, in the infrastructure landscape. Our telecommunications and road networks, sisters and brothers. Our successes in rural electrification and the supply of pipe-borne water throughout the length and girth of this country. But you know, sisters and brothers, some of us may not have been even born when we were electrifying the country, taking Grenada from 45% of electricity to 98% in just 4.5 years. Some people come in just today. They don't know anything about the history, and they say that nothing has been done in Grenada since 1984. So said my dear beloved Prime Minister Dick Mitchell. He will eat his words. But sisters and brothers, I was the first Minister of Public Utilities and Infrastructure and Roads in this country in 1984 to 89. But it's always important to point out that work could not have been done with the services of some capable workers in Grenlec and Nawassa and the Ministry of Works. But I want to say to you, one man that stands out for his service to the country over the years is this little man called Gregory Boyne, who is sitting here today, sisters and brothers. He's not like me. You don't make a lot of noise like me, so people don't know a lot. So a lot of times people don't understand the man well. But I will speak for him, sisters and brothers. Our party's service over the years is evident in the many human resource development projects which we have undertaken. The hundreds of trained professionals we have produced, and the tremendous, sisters and brothers, opportunities we have created to shape the lives of ordinary Grenadians. Sisters and brothers, we must never sit idly by when some persons try to underplay our past accomplishments by misrepresentations. We must never sit idly by. We must be proud of this beautiful country called our Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique. We must be proud of the new national party. We must hold our chests and knock it all the time, sisters and brothers. We are the voices of the people of this beautiful land of ours. Deacon stand up in Parliament, and I watched the man and reduce himself to nothing. And he said, since 1984, nothing has happened in this country. And the same telephone he's using, was because of the initiative of the new national party, sisters and brothers. I want to tell him and others this, that the NMP and Grenada led the discussion on behalf of the OECS against cable and wireless to liberalize telecommunication, to have the price of telephone reduced to it. The NNP's leadership, sisters and brothers, if they don't know, take a pen and write down the history of this country. Sisters and brothers, let us keep this record straight. I consider our record, our party's record, at home and abroad, as an excellent springboard into the future. We can gladly leave, sisters and brothers, that record to the verdict of history. Time will be far more objective and accurate than present-day politicians. Some of them not even were born when serious work was being done, and wanting to judge our past. Pray for them. Our past success, sisters and brothers, must be credited to the hard work of many who have served diligently. But our people will always, sisters and brothers, our people are always at the center of that development agenda. In other words, it's not about just roads and electricity. It's about people's development. And you go around the country, sisters and brothers, and if you take the pictures of what many villages look like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, they are transformed, sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, I want to say this again. Our programs and policies have often came from the belly of our people. You hear this? Our programs and policies came from the belly of our people, sisters and brothers. They were always guided by love for our people. Love, it is said, will always be the answer. And the philosophy of the NNP about caring for people, sisters and brothers, that is the hallmark of the new national party, sisters and brothers. I say this consistently over the years. I say this consistently. When a government is elected, it is elected for all the people of the country. For the poorest of the poor. For the not so poor. For the middle income. And for others at the higher level. Everyone must feel that government has policies and programs that give them the opportunity to continue to move forward. But every government, sisters and brothers, must have one fundamental policy: to focus specific attention on the poor and vulnerable in our society. They need government attention the most. Sisters and brothers, as a teacher, right here in Grenada, as a teacher at high school in the United States, as a teacher and professor at university level, when I sat in a classroom teaching, sisters and brothers, in the field of mathematics, I was always able to pick out the brilliant students quickly. But I focused my attention specifically on those children who were poor and vulnerable, who needed the attention of the teacher more than anyone else. That has been the philosophy of myself as a teacher. And I believe that's the philosophy of most of the members of this party, or all of the members of this party, who place the interests of the man who needs government the most as the center of their actions. That is why the NNP create history and got 15 seats 3 times in this country, because we showed love for the people. Sisters and brothers, the NNP stands, you could change the meaning of NNP. Change it to one. NNP stands for love, not hate. Inclusiveness, not division. Happiness, not unhappiness. This NNP, we believe, would always be there to rescue Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So that is why today we can be allies with those who have spent all their political life fighting our party and myself. No, we can't be, because we are an inclusive party. We give everyone a chance to make a contribution. And not all of them have treated it with what it meant. But the chance was necessary. The party of love. We do not hold people in mind. Let the past be the past. This is so important, sisters and brothers. I pause here because I believe this is a message that we must take. Love would always be the answer. Love would always be the answer. My friends, we can provide even our past allies with a seat of the table to engage in and exchange ideas for the greater good of this country. Our interest has always been what is best for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Not what is best for NNP, Keith Mitchell, and Gregory Boyne, and the people of the top here. What is best for Grenada is best for all of us, sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, I am tempted to talk about the past, but I will not do that here. Don't go there. I love that you hear, don't go there. Not that the past is not useful. The past sharpens our perspectives. It warns of possible pitfalls. And it helps to point the way forward. But we must never let the past divert attention from the current and future. Sisters and brothers, every one of us appreciates the gravity of the crisis of the present governance in our country. Every one of us can feel it. And that governance is married with an outright war against the poor and vulnerable. This government has a serious problem with poor people in this country. They seem to come in as a vengeance to those who need government the most. They seem to be against the working class of this country who helped to build this country, sisters and brothers. They helped to build this country, but against them. The government of today is an arrogant, elitist group. You know what elitist is? They love the big man. That lacks genuine care and feelings for the people of this country, especially the poor people that need them the most. We are not only faced with a daily comedy of errors in government. I've never seen more manje popot running a country like this. I used to be a cricketer and captain Grenada and played Windward cricket. And I never liked whooping. Cock said they meant whooping straight. You have to watch the ball, play forward when necessary. And even when you're going for strokes, you watch how you play the ball. Because you might just end up out than being there. So my friends, this daily comedy of errors We hear of the witness to pressures placed on the people of this country. The pressures faced by the people of this country, while each member, so I shouldn't say each, some of them, because I have respect for a few of them inside there. Well, I think you do. Well, I want to give in my experience. I can't speak for everybody. While the pressures are on the people, they are enriching themselves and their friends, sisters and brothers. So while the taxpayers pay hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for the Prime Minister to live in a mansion overlooking Greenwich Beach, my friends, the first Prime Minister of this country stayed in Mount Royal. Herbert Blaise stayed at Mount Royal. George Brizan and Tillman Thomas operated the offices and temporary quarters there. I had my own home, but I lived there. But it appears that that place is not good for your honorable Prime Minister today. He said to someone, that good for Keith Mitchell, that ain't good for the other Mitchell. But my friends, the sad thing is, while they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for his honorable consul in Dubai to rent a penthouse, costing yearly over $500,000 for one man. Sisters and brothers, while the low-income houses donated by the People's Republic of China remain inaccessible to ordinary people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You know why the big boys enjoying themselves and the Prime Minister is living in the best of the best. The poor people have to suffer. It's not good for him. It is good for Keith Mitchell. I was happy that I did not cost the taxpayers 1 cent. Not 1 cent. Because I came from humble beginning and I'm happy always to remain how I came in, sisters and brothers. I came in as an ordinary man. And I'm going out as an ordinary man. The ordinary people of this country are forced to face financial institutions to take loans, while those of better means live comfortably off the backs of you, the people of this country. In other words, no empathy, no feelings for people of lesser means. I remember, sisters and brothers, the late Elvin Nimrod, that special brother from Carriacou in Petit Martinique, when we went to China to negotiate the establishment of the relationship between the People's Republic of China and Grenada, because we are then associated with the government of Taiwan. Nimrod spent his time in the few days we are there negotiating with my support for all the houses that you see today that the NDC want to command there, and behaving as if it is their own. They had nothing to do with it. They don't have a clue. But they're in government, so they're doing as if it is their own. They can give who they want. And telling people they have to go to the bank We knew the people who were supposed to get these houses cannot get loans from the bank. But that is what's happening to our people today. Sisters and brothers, as you remembered, they said they met $500 million plus in the treasury of the country. When we came in 2013, we didn't get $0 there. They have invested and got millions of dollars through the CBI program. A couple $100 million they mentioned. Because of the NMP initiative in Cref, within 14 days after this last Hurricane Beryl, they got $118 million. So they got $500 million when they came. They got hundreds of millions of dollars from CBI. They got $118 million. And they get in the revenue every month from the customs and inland revenue and from all the other taxes in the country. Yet, we can't see anything being done with the people. But they live in nice. They fly in high. They living in hotels and spending millions of dollars, sisters and brothers, on trips. While the people in their country continue to suffer. Sisters and brothers, while some of our children will refuse vouchers for uniform support, the taxpayers of Grenada are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for the education of the children of political supporters of the National Democratic Congress. Spending thousands of your dollars to educate those who have resources and can afford to educate their children. But the poor people's children must suffer. These guys do not have a heart. But sisters and brothers, we're going to call it out. We are going to call it out. So while these people have to suffer, these people enjoying themselves out of your money. Your money. Recall, sisters and brothers, how the vendors of this country were treated when they came into office. They treated the vendors as dogs because they're not big people. We had them in the stadium under tents and they were doing reasonably well, some of them. They took off the tents. And they're moving around. We cannot say they deserve it because some of us make mistakes and they made mistakes. But that does not give the government the right to treat them as they're doing, sisters and brothers. And that's why the NNP, sisters and brothers, make it clear. The NNP never victimized people when they have services to give because they did not vote for them. We respect the rights of people to vote as they wish. We will talk to them. We'll advise them. We'll hold them. But if they vote against us, we are not going to be against them. We'll continue to advise them they made a mistake and they must change next time. Sisters and brothers, the government of the day amended the Fiscal Responsibility Act. That's a big word, but don't worry about the word. Worry about what I'm saying. They rescinded the fiscal responsibility law. You know why? There was a ceiling we can go in expenditure. They wanted to increase their salaries. So they would have broken the law. So they went to Parliament to change the law to raise the Fiscal Responsibility Act limit so that they can increase their salaries. They increased their salaries, sisters and brothers, over $6,000 in just a few months Tell me what the hell these people doing to deserve that level of increase. And I must call out my friends and brothers in the trade union movement. I must call them out. These are my brothers. But when you make mistakes as you criticize the government, we must tell you when you're wrong. Because if NNP raise their salary by a few cents, noise in the streets. Noise in the streets. Keith Mitchell and the NNP must go. But a man could come in, made no contribution in his life, in his entire life. You cannot see his mark on a roundhouse field. You cannot see his mark on a football field. You cannot see his mark on a community organization. You cannot see his mark on a cricket field. But he could raise the salaries of ministers by $6,000 and not a drum was heard. That's the country we're living in. But, my sisters and brothers, God is good, you know. Let me tell you something. I was one of those who were not happy with the results of the election. But every day I sit in opposition. Every day I see what's happening, I say, God is good. You know why? You know why? He's showing us that we must not treat mistakes of a government lightly. We must also, in voting, examine each person who comes before us and ask for votes. As I said to you, we cannot be happy with the suffering of people. I would never agree with this. But sometimes things happen, and it happened for a reason. I remember telling our nation, look at the people who are going forward to represent the National Democratic Congress and examine them against the members of the new National Party. Chalk and cheese. Some of them had a good job in their life. Some of them never walk a good day in their life. Some of them getting thrown out of rental properties because they can't pay the rent. So they're driving biggest car in their life and they live in good of the people of the good. I am not envying them. But please, while you're doing this, take care of the ordinary man. Take care, give him some food, make him feel part of what is happening in our country. They deserve better. Sisters and brothers. So they do what they want with the laws of the land. But you know what was significant? While they're raising their salaries by $6,000, the poor people, they take out $150 from the seed people, the poorest of the poor. I can understand, because I know, with the years of 23 years as Prime Minister of this country, I know that I was not perfect. But I know this, that if I sat in cabinet and took a decision like that, I know many members of my party would stand up and say, Prime Minister, you cannot do this. But the rest of them sat there because they get the $6,000 and they watch all the poor people that they are supposed to represent lose $150, sisters and brothers. And they gave them public servants just a little 13% increase over a 3-year period. You know, the men raised their salary by over 100%, almost that you could see. They give the public servants just 13% increase in 3 years. And the NC award, sisters and brothers. The NC award. I know some of them would have wanted to speak. But clearly, not all of them wanted to speak. My sisters and brothers, as I continue, while the government ensured that they increased their income and those of their friends to buffer the high cost of living. They reinstated taxes, sisters and brothers, on electricity. You see who used electricity and who have the biggest problem to pay? The poor again. They removed the 25% discount given by the NNP government for the non-fuel charge of electricity. They remove it almost immediately. They impose a tax on water. Water, a life-saving thing for the first time. They added a tax on sugar. They removed the cap on gas and diesel and reevaluated properties. Sisters and brothers, in 2025, increases will come. And every man will have to meet that. And who will suffer the most? The man who is struggling. Those of us who can afford to meet it will pay it. But the average man will not be able. He again has been victimized by this National Democratic Congress government. Sisters and brothers, they're not finished. Ask the people involved in the entertainment industry about the exorbitant fees that are being imposed on the industry by this government. Ask the people in the sporting sector for the increased fees imposed for the use of the National Stadium and other sporting facilities, which they know nothing about. Facilities that were brought to the people of this country because of the new national party. Sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, they're not finished. We look on in disbelief as a minister of government, enabled and supported by your dear Prime Minister, breaking the law and taking millions of dollars in loans from the Grenada Development Bank and giving to his minister. Sisters and brothers, no wonder that minister jumping around all around the place like some wild person. Cutting nice. Thing nice, man. People money. What people say, one day, go tea. This bank is no longer a place where our small businesses, farmers and fisher folks can benefit. Sisters and brothers, when we got into government in 1995, the bank had absolutely no money. I used my international connection and that of the team of the new national party. We sought help from our friends internationally, the regional financial institutions. We set targets and we fortified that bank and made it what it is today, a bank with solid backings, sisters and brothers. So they met a bank which is different from the one we met in 1995. Instead of they use the money as it's supposed to for small business, this bank was started by the Grenada United Labour Party under Sir Eric Masugeri as an agricultural bank, and it was moved further then to create opportunities for not just small farmers and farmers in general, the agricultural sector, was for small business. That's when it was renamed the Grenada Development Bank. Today, I think you should find another name for it. Well, I think we have to think about that one. Find a nicer name for it. We're going to get a nicer name. Them Calypsonians waiting. Sisters and brothers, by the end of 2024, almost $6 million will be spent on the Office of the Creative Arts. Brother Romain doing well, man. Over $6 million on the Office of the Creative Arts. And that office is led by the the public relations officer of the National Democratic Congress. And to date, all we have to show for it is a symposium. A symposium, $6 million, sisters and brothers. Its employees, its activities, and its physical location remain elusive to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We're trying to find out where it is. My friends, it's a fact. It is a fact. My friends, with all this millions of dollars coming from the CBI program, from which both the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance benefit from directly or indirectly. To date, we have not seen one new investment project from that program that can create jobs for the people. In the period of the NNP government, no minister could have been an agent or receiving any benefits from the CBI program directly so. No minister. But today the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister are benefiting. And the Prime Minister refused up to now, after being told to divest himself and his firm from this activity because it does not look good. The government, sisters and brothers, with ease provided $58.7 million to a CBI developer, and they cannot show me the rationale behind that yet. So a man come and invest hardly anything and he goes away with $58.7 million. And while they're doing that, they're failing to provide grant funds, material and labor support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique to help them to build back after the advent of Hurricane Beryl. My friends, in other words, the people money is not being used to help the people of the country. Sisters and brothers, you don't have to clap anything I say here, you know. Just listen, because you have to take it seriously. These are serious stuff, sisters and brothers. How can we, sisters and brothers, sit there and allow the government to take $58.7 million of your money and give it to one developer and has not told us how and why this money was being paid? My sisters and brothers, there's a lot more questions than answers. Brothers and sisters, we are dealing with a government sisters and brothers, who have chased and locked out persons from the shelter of the low-income houses. They literally chase people that seeking shelter from your houses, sisters and brothers, who was brought here by the new National Party. Sisters and brothers, these people, when they're on the verge of the incoming barrel, they chase them from there. Sisters and brothers, we are at war with a government that fired thousands of workers who were perceived to be supporters of the new National Party. The faith workers that they wanted to crucify former Minister Emmeline Pierre for. The 5 sisters and brothers, and others from Carriacou and Petit Martinique. were dismissed, and yet no natural justice has been obtained. The hundreds of security officers, the workers on Granbra Estate, workers in the housing brigades, sisters and brothers, many of them, caregivers, contract workers across the public service, many of them face the axe, sisters and brothers. We are faced, sisters and brothers, today with an unfortunate situation where not one single program has been introduced by this government for the young people of this country. While the ones that were left, many of them are left on life support. Sisters and brothers, I ask, what has happened to the sewing cooperatives? What has happened to Project Fly? Youth Biz? Youth in Agriculture? Project Rich? And the Imani program? What has happened? They wash it out. In the same breath, we can ask the following. What has happened to the pension program, sisters and brothers? And the sad thing is, I think Brother Oliver just recently was explaining the program. We have tried to do that so many times, and people still believing an NMP wasn't paying pension. You heard the facts earlier on today? What was left is the unpaid, the backlog of amounts, because we have to go back to 1958. And therefore there will be millions and millions of dollars. So we said to unions, as we go forward and we continue to meet responsibility to the pension program, as we were doing, and several people got pension payments, but they're not talking a word, sisters and brothers. They hear people lying on us and they're not saying a word. So we said, let us talk about the backlog, the monies we owe because of the court ruling, which I didn't necessarily believe was correct, but the law is the law. We said, look, we have to do this, but we continue to move with the pension as agreed on. All this government did was take some of the $500 million and just pay off. In other words, if NNP didn't leave money there, how the hell they would have paid anything? So they'd use it because they made promises they're going to pay all the backlog and to pay pension. They didn't. No, they're not paying the pension. All they did was pay the backlog. And therefore, what is happening? Where is the road work? Where is all the programs and opportunities for poor people in the country? My friends, that is a problem that we have to face. So I hope we debunk this idea that NMP did not pay pension. This is nonsense. Anytime they come to you, just say, choops. Well, they don't say choops in Parliament too, you know. I'm talking one day and one on the other side, they choops. I say, hey, what the hell is that? I say, Mr. Speaker, what is that? We have a kindergarten here? Choops. So anytime you see the person, say, choops. Oh, God. Sisters and brothers, they ain't finished, you know. We have seen a complete destruction of the marketing board, Marketing and National Importing Board. Let me make it clear. The marketing board had some serious weaknesses. So I would be first to admit that because I made statements to that effect while the NMP was in office. So it needed restructuring and needed some major changes. But they literally just abandoned the marketing board. The chairman they choose today is speaking out all over the place of when he spoke to the leader of the country about what is right and how they should go forward to deal with the marketing board. He ignored him, as he does in most things. He's bigger than life. He's Jesus Christ. Baby Jesus. Baby Jesus. Well, baby Jesus, one day you will find out you are no longer baby Jesus. We will make baby Jesus a big man. I hope he don't get vexed with me because he have a name called Mitchell, and I respect all Mitchells. My friends, we are led by our Prime Minister, who presides over buyouts and bullying. A Prime Minister who was openly associated with the platforms that spew hate, division, and disparage persons who are not brothers that had openly advocated for the firing of workers and the pulling of contractual arrangements with local businesses. In other words, you have surrogates of this government on radio saying to take work from people, fire this one, don't give any work to this business and so on. And not a word from the leadership of the country. In other words, supportive. They call us all kinds of names, but you know, the worst thing is you weren't going to spend time worrying about somebody that have no sense, no head, who generally speaking might belong in Monge more than anything else. So I will not waste my time. When he said all kinds of things and those about me, I said, who, he? You mean the patient on Monge? I don't want to respond to that. I don't respond to that. My friends, we have a leader who is of the express view that the wealthy can lead this country as the people of lesser means will sell themselves for money. The philosophy has been, sisters and brothers, just give him her money and he will come his way, our way. Just give her her money. No philosophy about love and cake. Just money, sisters and brothers. Just money, sisters and brothers. The NNP is not about that. We NNP believe in lifting up people, not using them, sisters and brothers. But they can buy some people. But they can buy the strength of the new national party, and they cannot buy Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So anytime you see one leaves the NNP and they go across the NDC, I didn't say that, you know. I do that. That's all I do. I just wave my finger, you know. So how do you think I dumb then? I'm coming close to the end. While some members of this cabinet, say some, not all, and their surrogates build their frequent flyer miles on the backs of the people, attending galas and fundraisers abroad. We are faced with a depreciating healthcare system where people are dying like flies. The nurses and the doctors are complaining, and I'm not here to say, sisters and brothers, I would be a hypocrite if I say things were great, nice before under NNP of the healthcare system. In fact, health is a difficult thing, sisters and brothers, for countries to deal with. All over the world, you hear discussions about healthcare for the people of their country. Some of the biggest debates in the United States is about the difference between the parties, and healthcare comes in. In Barbados, who was one of the leading countries in the Caribbean for dealing with social services like healthcare, today some of the biggest discussion between the parties in Jamaica and Barbados is about healthcare. So I am not here to say that it's an easy thing to solve, but something is happening that is not right. Something is happening that is not right. People are left to wonder what is taking place there. Sisters and brothers, the infant mortality rates and the lack of basic supplies are alarming in this country, sisters and brothers. Babies are dying, and people cannot understand why and how. Sisters and brothers, any attempt, and I said before, the NNP did move to empower the healthcare system, but we did not get the support of the trade union movement and the buy-in to a statutory body with systems and structures in place to ensure that the ordinary citizens' health would be protected under any such statutorization. So I'm saying any attempt to semi-privatize this healthcare system without adequate provision to protect the people of the country, I would call it criminal, sisters and brothers. So we're waiting and we're watching. So I state our philosophy, but I state how. Every one of us, sisters and brothers, appreciates the gravity of the problem facing our nation. We have a rescue mission to perform. Listen to me carefully. A mission that requires dedication, commitment, and a steady head, sisters and brothers, and a stable hand. You hear me? Did you hear me, sisters and brothers? I'm going to repeat. I want to repeat. We said there are problems in our country, and we have a rescue mission to perform. That's what I said. But I said this. And that mission to rescue requires dedication, commitment, and a steady and stable hand. You hear that, sisters and brothers? You hear me again? Any movement, any change within the NNP requires a steady and stable hand. So I sound an alarm today that this party will not be silenced. Watching the fundamental rights of our people be trampled upon. We will always stand for the fundamental rights of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. We will be the voice of the people. The voice of the voiceless. I sound a warning and an alarm that we are oiling all our political weaponry and machinery. We oiling the machine. Because we're getting ready to rescue Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And we want steady hands on board to care for that rescue mission. And while we undertake this important task of preparing to rescue this beautiful land of ours, there are those, sisters and brothers, who seek to divide our party. Said, I don't believe we must hide anything. We have to talk. Morris hid a lot of things, and he faced his death. Keith Mitchell ain't going down that road. There are those who seek to divide our party and our country with underhand maneuverings, funding media platforms of individuals to attack and spread propaganda on the NNP and its leadership. I don't know what they're going to do with Keith Mitchell again. They can't leave me alone. Even I'm talking about leaving, but they're still attacking me every night, every morning, every day. They can't leave the man alone. Leave me to rest. Leave me alone. Because what they say, if you play with things with fever, you'll get fever. You remember that story? Sisters and brothers, we are not in this for selfish means for power. I want to sound an alarm today again, sister, but within a new national party. That new national party would not be hijacked by anyone whatsoever. You hear me? This new national party will not be hijacked by anyone whatsoever. I've been in around this party for 40 years. And convention coming, we've never gone to people coming and tell me, oh, people coming to them and asking them to pay them money to vote for them in convention. We never had that before. Where this thing come from? Where this thing come from? Where this thing come from? Paying people to come and vote in a convention? Man, God, are you crazy? And you want Keith Mitchell to keep his mouth shut? I go talk. I encourage you, the loyal supporters of this party, to stay focused. Be more inquiring. Question the motives of those who continually attack and push propaganda about the party's leadership. You must question that. When you hear some of them who claim to have been NMP supporters attacking the leadership. If you are an NMP sympathizer, how could you be attacking the leadership of the party? Choops. Choops. This party will not be destroyed by a few persons who do not truly care about the NNP and Grenada. Get it right. Our party has had hostile attacks before from both inside and outside. We had the A-team before who wanted to take over the NNP, and they were soundly beaten on the NNP convention in McDonald College in 1994. NNP convention will come, and anyone try to do anything against the best interests of the party would be soundly beaten once again by the new national party. We will always, sisters and brothers, remain focused on building the next generation of leaders. And I want you to listen carefully. we are focused on building the next generation of leaders. The NNP, sisters and brothers, and I want to go slowly in this piece. The NNP has provided a training ground for aspiring politicians, particularly women and youth. I came through the NNP and I part of that training ground. I gained a lot of training and knowledge from those who were there before and learned a lot, sisters and brothers. I am confident, sisters and brothers, that we have talent abound in this party. That in the right time to come, sooner than later, without fear, sisters and brothers, a child from this noble political training school, sisters and brothers, a child from this noble NNP training school who's been in the belly of the NNP, who knows and experiences the highs and lows of this party. Someone who has the leadership skills. Someone who has genuine love for people. Someone who is selfless in service. Someone who comes from the belly and the bowels of the new National Party. Will lead this party while I can relax at home and watch in peace. I deserve that. I want to sit in my rocking chair. I want to sit in my rocking chair and watch the NNP flourish. For sisters and brothers, it's only a child of the house can truly appreciate and represent what it means to be a true NNP. Because they know no other way but the NNP way, sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, I didn't come to preach, but I have to preach. Despite the efforts of some, we remain a party united in purpose for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in good times and bad times. We are building a stronger, more resilient party. A perfect blend of youth and a decade of solid experiences that we have within, who have walked this road for many years, are here to provide the mentorship and support to the younger generation of leaders. I should be part of that mentorship team. And one person one day, as I said, sooner than later, will rise to the top. This is how strong and resilient this organization has been built. Together we do what is necessary, that the right people in the right position to guide confidently the future of our party. Together, we'll outline a plan that will not only reverse the downward trajectory of our nation, but propel us to new heights, as the NNP have always done whenever it gets to rescue this country. And we do that in the context where every Grenadian, Carriacouian, and Petit Martinican can aspire, build, and advance, sisters and brothers. We stand ready, sisters and brothers, to work hand in hand with all sectors of our society and every citizen of this country. Because we want to turn our boldest dreams and highest aspirations into tangible realities. So get ready, sisters and brothers. Get ready. Because an exciting journey lies ahead for this land. A journey where we'll honor the past, expand our vision, and recommit ourselves to the surface of this land of ours. Together, we'll embrace a future that is driven by inspirational leadership, innovation, and inclusiveness. Because we are one people. Let us unite. We don't have to all love each other. We may have differences, but we work together for the common good. This is not about me, not about you, not about him, not about her. It's about the country. All of us. We are ready, sisters and brothers, to elevate our party and our nation once again to the next level. Sisters and brothers, this party and the men and women of here are brighter, smarter, and more capable than anything that exists on the other side. They are more caring. They love people, not hate people. They want to bring people together, not push them apart. So my friends, as we leave here in this beautiful setting, we want to thank the Almighty God. We want to thank Him and bless Him for all of you, and to bless this beautiful land called Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique. Thank you. Good evening. Enjoy yourselves.
Yes, brothers and sisters, we have heard it. We have heard it. The rescue mission for everybody. Even the microphone want rescuing. Just a few housekeeping matters quickly as we are about to leave. Yeah, we have a party up there. I will tell you about it. So let's hear about the housekeeping matters. They've just sent me the list based on the delegates that was expected. Right. So we expected 183 delegates. That is for the first session. And there was 171. I can't check so good. So then 9 and 3 is 12. I think so. Yeah? So we were short by 12. Oliver is a good mathematician, so he go tell me. Now, a few housekeeping matters. Remember, the 40th anniversary committee at the party had planned a bingo some time ago, and Beryl come and she just blow all thing all about the place and so. So that bingo will now be held on October 27th. October 27th, keep the date, at Victoria Park in Grenville. Be there on time, big money, a nice new car. Come and win something from the NNP. On Thursday, I believe, we continue with the constituency meetings. I think this coming Thursday, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're going to Guelph. St. John's, yes. St. John's, so we'll be there to continue and hope to complete. St. John's RC, I was just told, that is on Thursday coming, and you would know at that meeting where the next one is on Sunday. Now, a while ago, Christmas is coming and the goose is getting fat. Please put a little something in an old man like me hat. Well, you did put a little something, and we want to thank you and we want to congratulate the NNP people. $3,097 will be going to Brother Clouden from your collection. Thank you. This is who we are. People who care, people who always give, people who stand up when they are needed. I want to ask our dear brother on stage, Brother Winston Garway, to please come forward and give us a closing prayer so that we can disappear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Bolo. May we all stand, and please don't move. If it's possible, you can hold the hands of the person close to you. I want you to do this. This is a special moment. The money is collected will be given to Brother Cox to take to the brother who is in need at the moment. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are indeed grateful to you for this day and this moment. We pray a special blessing upon the leadership of this party. We come against every plan that has been established or set up to create confusion, to create problems, or to destabilize the organization. But tonight, or this evening, in the name of Jesus, we stay every plan of Satan, and we command them to die in the name of Jesus. We pray, oh God, a special blessings upon all your people. And as we continue to work together to rescue Grenada, may we do this in love, in faith, and in understanding that with you all things are possible. And as you said in the word, no good thing will you withhold from them that walk uprightly. So tonight, we thank you, O God, as we continue to walk together. Your spirit will be with us. Continue to bless and strengthen us. And as we go, we ask you to go with us now. In Jesus' name. And everybody say, Amen. God bless you.
Well, Andre, it has been quite a day here at this particular very important process of the new National Party. What are your thoughts?
Well, Shoma, the first thing that one has to put on record is that I believe the new National Party would have outdid themselves in relation to the turnout here this evening at the Trade Center. Phil, that's the only how you can...
Well, that seemed to be the order of the day. In recent times, we're seeing that full capacity crowd coming out. So such a big venue as a Trade Center. We've seen it even at the community levels at the various indoor meetings that they've been having in the last few months. You know, so it's quite a significant sign of things to come, if I may say so. But interestingly, Andre, I wanted to reflect a little bit on Dr. Mitchell's delivery here today when he speak about unity and he speak about everybody being included in a process. He sound quite a bit of warnings this evening. And it basically indicating the need to keep the party united and not divided.
Well, that basically, Sherma, was what his speech that he delivered here at the General Council, that is what it was all about. It was all about unity, and what is very important is that he indicated that, hey, the next person who's going to lead the party will come from within the bowels of the party.
Within the bowels of the party. Again, that in itself is a very significant statement. You know, there have been so much speculations as to who and that sort of thing. But of course, if we understand the requisites of that individual, we would know that it has to be someone who has been in the party for quite a while.
Well, I refuse, Shoma, to be drawn into that with you. No, not today.
Remember, Dr. Mitchell said he's not going to go down like Morris Bishop.
Yeah, I won't be drawn into that today.
He's speaking his truth.
Yeah.
And we heard it all today. But indeed, Andre, what an amazing turnout. What an engaging audience here. The NNPites are very much energized to go forward. And of course, the process is all about registration and getting prepared for whenever a general election come around.
Well, Shoma, you also have to notice that the new National Party, its members, rank and file members, they have been looking at something, looking forward to something like this for a very long time. The General Council, and as I indicated, as we know, it's a prelude to the convention, which is going to come. We believe is going to come pretty soon.
Oh, indeed. I mean, it's obvious. The writing is on the wall. One may speculate. Folks have been saying it's going to happen before the end of the year. We are not aware of when it's going to happen, but we know it was said it's going to happen sooner than later by Dr. Mitchell this evening. But I was also very impressed with the young lady, Andre, that spoke earlier on. Very dynamic speaker, a young person really living up to the expectations of the youth in society and delivering as a boss here this afternoon.
Well, she did deliver, and the only thing that she was left short of, Shoma, was the height on the podium.
Well, we're going to have to get a little stool for her next time.
We have to deal with something, but other than that, she was really and truly brilliant.
Indeed,
indeed. I dare say she's been one, Shoma, that they've used as the as an MC on a couple of occasions. And now I realize they've been spoiling her. She deserves to be speaking at all times. Find another MC.
Of course. And this is really good because, understanding the importance of that transition into younger people doing different things and, adding their own perceptions into the process. And I'm really was impressed with her. It's the first time I'm seeing her live and hearing her, and I'm very impressed. She was really good, if I may say so. We also had Senator Cox delivering a lot on Carriacou and the sufferings of the people that is continuing in Carriacou. And every time we have some rain and some thunder and some lightning, we in Grenada, our hearts bleed for the folks in Carriacou. Knowing their condition, we are very disheartened to know that these trials are still happening there. We also had an incident today. We saw the strength of the people of the NNP collecting over $3,000 for Mr. Clouden, who had his accident in Carriacou and hoping to get back to the United States. And $3,000 were collected here this afternoon towards his assistance in getting back to the U.S. for treatment.
Well, Shoma, all in all, I dare say it was a fantastic afternoon here for the new National Party. And at this time, I take the opportunity to wish all who came out to the event, wish them God's blessing and God's speed at home. And to you yourself, Shoma, I wish you God's speed and God blessing.
Well, thank you so much, my brother Andre. You get home to the north safely.
Best place.
And once again, we say thank you to all the viewers across Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and the rest of the world, wherever you are in the diaspora of Grenadians. Have a good evening.
Okay.